Oh hey, hello again. Welcome back to another review, sort of. It's more of an archival video looking back at a forgotten video game and franchise. Since literally no footage of this figure exists online to my knowledge, I think I can safely say I'm helping educate and document things for people who are interested. Virtual On Cyber Troopers was a mecha fighting game, released in 1995 by Sega to minimal fare. It made its way to arcades across Japan, eventually getting a computer and Sega Dreamcast release sometime during 1996. It isn't really well known to people nowadays and remains mostly in obscurity only to the small number of fans it does have, but today we'll be looking at its sequel game, Cyber Troopers Virtual On Oratorio Tangram, or just known as Virtual On Oratorio, starring a delightful cast of mechs, or what are known as VRs in the lore. It takes the bunch from the original game and basically upgrades them into new forms, sorta like a reboot, and we'll be looking at one of those VRs in today's video, the RVR-33 APHARMD-S, part of the APHARMD line of VRs introduced in this game. It has two other companion mechs, the APHARMD-C and APHARMD-B. They're kinda of the militaristic grunts of the universe, even more so in Virtual on Mars, another game in the franchise. In particular, this one is an action figure released by Xebec Toys sometime during late 90s to early 2000s. As mentioned, finding any information on this figure on the internet is basically impossible, maybe besides some long dead forums on some unknown site, so I only have the box to go off of. On that topic, it says to visit Kyoto.Japan on the box, but going there it's largely defunct. I pasted a link to it in the video DSC if you want to check it out and do your own research. It also says it was designed by Hajime Kataki, who you may know for working on the Gundam series.
Get ready.
Some various box shots. And a better look at the posing images on the back of the box. Instructions. It also comes with a stand. It has a decent weapons loadout, most are carryovers from the other APHARMD units. Looking at the reference art for the game, it supposedly has interchangeable equipment and stuff like a bazooka and headset. For its right shoulder there is 3 different things it can equip: the large shoulder cannon, which makes it the S-type. The cannon can move up and down. Another shoulder knob that can make it look just like the left shoulder, and another third option, an empty and slightly larger cannon mounting port. I have no clue of what it could be used for. It also has its knife. It also has a missile launcher gun thing, the scope of which can be adjusted. The left arm's bottom brace thing can extend and connect to the gun to lock it in place. For hands it comes with 2 sets of closed fists, 3 open hands, and 5 holding hands, 2 of them being at an angle, and 1 hand for holding the included knife weapon. Its head can only move a little bit. The instructions say to remove it and put it on another joint for it to look up, but I'm not doing that because the joints are very tough and it hurts to remove and put stuff back on. Shoulders, arms, elbows, wrists, waist, hips, knees, thighs, shoulder binders. The shoulder binders, which by looking at in-game footage I assume is a form of propulsion for the mech, can be opened and closed, along with the back VR disc, which is the power source for the machine. The outside of the backpack also suspiciously looks like a Sega Dreamcast console. It can also be attached to the stand and be hooked on the large pole like an action base. RX-78. Saku. And another design by Hajime Kataki, the Jesta from Gundam Unicorn. Overall it's a pretty good action figure. Again, I should mention on the box it talks about the DNA side thing, which is either some sort of MSV like in Gundam or how the game is updated because it's also the name of a song. The joints are a bit tough and the articulation is weird and the colors are a bit muted, but generally, if you can find one and are interested you should pick one up.